We're coming to the end of our interview session here, and my last question usually is there anything I didn't give you a chance to say that you'd like to say about either your art or your journey or history of art or whatever?
Yeah, I guess what's interesting is, here we are in Ireland, and I've kind of been trying to capture my identity as I come back between Belfast and Dublin and understand places like Newry or Derry or the border counties. And yet, do we ever really know ourselves through a country, or through an ethnicity or a religion? I know you and Janet talked about spirituality a lot and seeking in different ways and believing and having faith in different paths. And, when I'm in Canada, I'm on the Pacific Rim. I'm co-editor of a journal that's coming out of Australia called Garland. Dr. Kevin Murray is the force behind that journal. So when you're on the west coast of Canada, you're very much oriented towards the Pan-Pacific. And I've had Asian students, and I've studied Asian art now. And, and yet I'm involved in other things that, seem to come up from California. I don't know, I guess what's crazy is that feed you get on the smartphone. I mean, I think that's what's changing my world at the moment, and my concentration of focus. How many messages you can get in if you are a person who has lived in a number of different places, or as colleagues and artist friends in different places. And it's...
Do you find that distraction, that fact that our attention is being restricted because of the way that the fastness of the technology, that you're almost going from one thing to another because the technology is forcing us in that direction, whereas sometimes it's nice to be able to do something that's long term, that gives you a sense of from here to here. That marks those boundaries.
I think it's the dilemma of the day. I mean, you and I are sitting here. There's 3 cameras on us. I don't know when it will be discarded, but you haven't approached this as one phone in our face. Live feed. It'll be on Snapchat, discarded within 24 hours. The Lennon Memorial was sewn over many years. Linen can be found, in ancient Egypt in dry sands today, in archaeological digs. Or trauma as it's represented in the body, we could go in different directions, but
we need time, don't we? We need time to be able to do things and ponder and to explore and to slow down maybe.
Yeah, and one thing I worry about with interpersonal communication coming from a place like the North is, if you've got the trigger finger on your smartphone, do you have your trigger finger on something else? And maybe that's more applicable to America and the gun control laws and issues there. And I was at Survivors of Trauma, North Belfast pt6, which would be my neck of the woods before we immigrated. And Mari there is hoping to retire soon. She's seen too much. She's seen too much. Her brother just died. He, not directly because of his injuries from the Troubles era, but part of that in his body. I meet people who come to the memorial. They've got their bodies are wounded. They're been witness certainly to things, and I don't mean to sort of end on that, but she mentioned the school shootings in America. She mentioned other places that have got problems that we never even envisioned, when the peace process came along, and how do artists interface with that? I don't know. We just try.
So what positive things would you like us to
Well, the weather has been amazing. Look at the weather, and if we had more time, we'd be wandering around in the gardens with these cameras behind us. And I know you would have gone to the lake and filmed Janet swimming, and she's introduced me to this idea of cold water swimming in midday in that amazing lake. And my understanding is there's been Aboriginal elders here who have seen that lake through their shamanic lens of centuries previous, and maybe in the hunger, Great Famine period, and what that lake meant to people who were going through starvation at that time. And then we had Philip Hammond here yesterday playing the piano. It was just amazing, up in the room to a small audience. American visitors. It's a great collection of people here, formed by Tyrone Guthrie's legacy, and one of the sound artists, singer-songwriters had put together, edited something with his voice from that era. He called it a small Irish big house. It seems vast to us, and the Gatehouse is a lovely intimate space, and I appreciate you coming from Muri to talk with us today and talk to me.
Lycia, Lycia Trouton, thank you very much for being interviewed with me today and for inviting me down. So thank you very much. We have more on the way, so please subscribe to this channel and check out the link below if you'd consider becoming a patron to help us keep making more content. Thanks for watching.